Yeah, that's actually just stock footage. It's just me. But if you're interested in learning about early days development of this thing, including prototypes and videos, stay tuned. Hello. As nobody asked for it, I thought I'd do a behind the scenes of my first full indie title, Slide to Survive. I wanted to make a new game based on slide puzzles. That was like pretty much my initial thoughts about this, but I didn't really have a clue how. The first thing that I was quite clear that I wanted to do was not play any slide puzzle games or look at any of the competition, because I was guessing there was a lot and I didn't want to think about them when I was making my own. So first prototype, I decided, get a slide puzzle just up and running. Here's the first prototype. This is actually my girlfriend Sarah with an axe, standard. You just click the points and you can scramble it. The second prototype, I wanted to explore the idea of, like, what is the image? Maybe I could generate an image and then that can be scrambled. So that if I thought I could do that, maybe I could render something into a texture, use that texture as the puzzle. It gave quite a cool effect. I was quite happy with the way this looked. The next prototype, it kind of was like, oh, okay, so I can render some 3D object. What about some a world that I could interact with, but also scramble as a puzzle? So, you know, what about really basic first-person map? This is what I came up with the second prototype. And as you can see, you can walk around using the keys, very basic, but you can also scramble the picture. And it still works when you move around, and really gives us a really odd effect. And I thought this was kind of cool. The next thing I was like, so I had a slide puzzle with a 3D environment in it. What if I had the 3D slide puzzle in the environment? So I had an idea of a corridor. This is a corridor from the top down. And these green things were doors. And I thought the player would go forward, unscramble the puzzle, and that would open the door, and you can go to the next one, and that would open a door. And to make it so you have a bit of a time constraint, how about spikes? Still a very coarse prototype. In fact, you can walk through those walls. The puzzle's is already solved. It's not scrambled. But this was the idea. You kind of unscramble these, and then when you've unscrambled them, the door goes up and you can move forward. But again, I quite like the idea of it. I thought slide puzzles would make a good mini game for hacking or something in a first person environment. You know, you've got to open the door. Possibly not the whole door's this. Maybe there's a little screen on the side. The next idea I had was, what if there was something external to the puzzle that got affected by the puzzle? What if you had a little character up here and you could slide the platformer so the character can get to the end? This was the next prototype. You see the character comes in from the top and just kind of goes along its little merry way, interacting with the bits that are green. The blue is just meant to be sky. This is probably the coarsest of all the prototypes. And then you can arrange it to try and get the little chap to go into the star. You see here I've arranged it and you go into the star. I like this. I thought this was kind of cool. It reminded me very much of Lemmings. And at that point, I decided to try and figure out what things from the prototypes worked and what things from the prototypes possibly didn't work. Now, the first thing I quite liked was a bit of an accident. The first prototype had just a very basic slide puzzle. Now, I didn't even bother animating the tiles to slide across. They just moved when you clicked them. And I liked that. That made a very, very quick, frenetic sort of puzzle. And my experience with slide puzzles in the past were quite slow and a little bit tedious. So I liked the idea of trying to speed up slide puzzles, try and make them dynamic, really a bit more of an exciting moment. The next thing I obviously liked was the animated puzzle board. I thought that was very interesting and it could definitely be expanded upon. And then the third thing I liked was the context. So having something in the puzzle board, possibly in the animation. So those were the three things: frenetic, rendered, animated puzzle board, and a context. And bringing those three together was what led to making Slide to Survive. And if you've not played Slide to Survive yet, what are you doing? It's available now. The description has a little link. Click it, go there, buy it. It's $10. That's amazing. I am an indie developer, and this is what I do full time. I try and support myself. I'm completely self-funded. If you buy this game, you are supporting me directly, and that's amazing. I am so proud to be bringing you this game. I had to learn so much in order to try and figure out how to do this. Things that I didn't realise that I was going to have to do. Things like audio, a lot of 3D modelling, a lot of image stuff. Obviously a lot of programming, but I did that already. And then there was the things I really did not expect to be doing, like packaging, which I'd never figured out before, and PR, and trying to get anyone to follow me on Twitter, and just trying to bring all of this together and keeping my life going. It was been interesting at times, but I'm so proud that I'm at this stage where I can say, go and download Slide to Survive. Thank you very much for watching, and if you've got any questions, just leave them as a little comment below. I'll be totally happy to answer them. Thank you very much.